Now I want to show you some interesting data. We have the book here, and book is related to publisher with relationship. Along with that, a book is also related with the book details. Let's take a look at the second book that we have here and go to the details. Here we can see number of chapters is 22, 22 and 22, and book ID is 4. So just remember that, and we will try to update these details once we fetch the book record using our playground. We won't be here, we'll be doing everything when we call this playground. So let me switch back to the application and let me stop this for a second. Right here, what we want is a section for updating related data. First, let's retrieve the book. So we can say variable, and let's call this book temp1 is equal to _db dot. We will be using books here, and we'll be using include to also include the book detail. So we'll go to b dot book detail. Then we want the first or default, and we want it based on the ID. So we can say b goes to b dot book ID is equal to 4. That is the book that we want to edit. That being said, let me copy this and paste it one more time in another variable. I'm gonna call this book temp2. Then let me go into book temp1 dot. We have the book detail. In there we have the number of chapters. Let me try to update the chapter to 2222. And then right here, I want to update them again for the book temp2. This time, let me not update the chapters, but I'll update something else. We have the weight of the book. Let me update that to, I'll go with 3333. There we go. As of right now, things are looking exactly what we want. After all this, we need to update and save the changes. So _db.books.update, and what we will update is, we will update the book temp1, and we'll say _db.savechanges. Great. We'll copy this, and we'll do that for book temp2. But in this place, rather than using update, I will use something new called as attach. We have not used this before. I would rather show you what attach does differently as compared to update first. So in order to do all that, let's go up here and let me comment this code out. And we just need to get to our playground so it hits this debugging point. We'll go to book here and we'll click on the playground. Great, we are here. Let's open up the tools, debug window output, and let me clear the logs right here. Great. Now let me press F10, nothing happens. Here we will be filtering that, so we should have the select. This filter and queryable we already went through. Now comes our updating of related data. Here in the first line, what will happen is it will find the record which we have to update, and then it updates the book detail number of chapter to 4 times 2. Everything else is 22 here. Great. Now we are updating book details, and book has not been updated in any way. If we press F10 one more time on save changes, it executes 2 queries. The first query is where it updates into the book details, and it updates the number of chapters. This is the change that we made right here in line 160. But if you see, it also executed another query in which it updated the book, and it updates all of the parameters that book has. Why was this query executed? That was executed because when you update a set, it updates that set as well as any modified entity in the properties that it has. So that's why it also updated the book details, because that is the change that we made. So EF code tracks that, and that is exactly how it should be. but it also updated book where it was irrelevant. We were aware that we were making the change only on the book details and not on the book, but still it updated the book. So that is one waste of resource. Now, how do you make it more efficient? And the answer awaits right here with the attach method. Let's hit F10 one more time here. Let me remove this first. And it retrieves the record. Then we use the attach on book temp2. Let me clear this one more time. Now when we save the changes, you see that it executes the update only on book details. It did not try to update all the records of book, and that is exactly what we want. But you need to be careful with this behavior. So you can see how attach is behaving differently as compared to update, and we like what we see so far. So let's understand the difference. Attach puts all the entities in the graph into the unchanged state. However, entities will be put in the added state if they have stored generated keys like identity column and no key value has been set. Attach can be used to start tracking a mix of new and existing things where existing things have not changed. The new entities will be inserted while the existing entities will not be saved other than to update any necessary foreign key values. Update on the other side works the same as attach, except that entities are put in modified state instead of the unchanged state. So if everything is in modified state, when you save the changes, it will update everything, and that is what we saw with update. It updated the book as well as book detail. And that is why the behavior that we saw makes sense. So we know that with attach, it puts all the entries in the graph into the unchanged state. However, if something from that unchanged state is modified, attach will change its state to modified. With that in place, we have one more condition. Let's examine that in the next video.